Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, I saw a picture this morning at a protest. I'm not sure how recent it was, judging by how everything looked. I'd assume it was in the last year or so. The picture was of a group of folks marching, and with these people was a kid, or I call him a kid. I would call anybody under 18 a kid. But anyway, they probably were 13 to 15 and had a full rifle, long gun on their chest strapped up. And the caption said something along the lines of, if they're going to bring their guns, and this person, when they said they're referring to like Proud Boy, Boogaloo types. I mean, frankly, to put it succinctly, they were talking about white folks. But if they're going to bring guns to these protests, we should too. They need to stop making us afraid. And the picture, of course, everybody had guns, including the kid. So it made me want to make this video about, well, frankly, kids with guns. I don't really think there's a problem with kids knowing how guns work. Um, in fact, I think that's the solution to a lot of these problems. When it comes to kids and guns, really guns in general, the big problem with it is people don't respect it. And it's not just respecting the firearm for what it is, but it's a lack of respect for life in general. It's hard to kind of expand on that because that's it. It's you don't know how things work. You don't understand what's in your hands when you have that rifle or that pistol or whatever it is. With as common as firearms are in the United States, if you're a parent who, whether it's for recreation or, if you're use firearms on your job, teach your kids how these guns work. Teach them to be respectful of these firearms. And beyond that, teach them the value of life. I think that that's the most important part, is it's a lack of understanding that, yeah, if you pull this trigger, more than likely what's on the other end is not going to live. And it's hard to teach that kind of lesson. I mean, especially in, like I would say modern era, but really just with more urban environments, hunting is a harder thing to do. And honestly, I feel like that would be a good thing for a lot of these kids to learn, is what death is. When we were little, when we went hunting, that was sort of a rite of passage. When you got that first shot, you're the one who's supposed to kill that animal. And you have to understand what you've done, that you are taking life from something. Now, admittedly, when we were hunting, it wasn't trophy hunting. We processed all the meat from the deer that we killed, and we barely would eat it all, but we would give it out to people who would eat it. It's not like we were wasting anything, but it was important to understand that you did this. You killed something. It's no longer living because of your action, because of your choice. And it's a hard lesson that I think a lot of parents don't want to teach their children. I think it's a lesson that I think a lot of people don't really want to kind of grasp. And it's not just firearms that are going to do this to people, obviously. But that is the topic of discussion. It has been for the past, for years in this country and worldwide about firearms. But firearms aren't the only thing that kill people. And it seems like we're more willing to teach these kids about the other dangerous things in our lives. You always, I don't know about with you personally, but like for me, using tools, we're taught that, yeah, the hammer's heavy. You swing it at what you want to hit. If you hit the wrong thing, you might break something. And we weren't really taught, we were taught through making mistakes. When we broke something, look at what happened. This is why it happened. You did this to cause this to happen. Now you know not to do that. Breaking a piece of wood is a lot easier of a lesson to learn than taking life from someone or some animal or anything. But it's a lesson you need to learn. If you got firearms in your home and you got kids, rather than trying to hide them from the dangers of this world, be honest with them. Teach them what these things are capable of and what they're capable of if they decide to use them. That's going to be your best way around this. If you really think that if your kid has an interest already, teach them. And teach them the truth. Don't try and sugarcoat things for them. Your kids are going to grow up to be adults, so you might as well teach them the right way first. I'm lucky enough that I don't have kids to teach these kind of things to. I'm never worried about my kid doing the wrong thing with a gun. But if you got them, teach them right now, because like I said, they're not going to stay little forever. You're raising adults, so teach them the right way. Y'all have a good day.